Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Physics Tics. So let's start with graphs in kinematics. So see, in kinematics there are seven types of graph which we have, right? So as you can see over here, firstly yx graph. Now y might be any acceleration, displacement, then we have velocity, and x we generally take it as time or else the position also. Okay, so here y as acceleration, x as time, y as velocity, x as time. Likewise, we'll get in kinematics there are seven types of graph as you can see over here. So you will not get any graph other than this in kinematics. Okay, so see, firstly understand what is graph and how to measure the reading in the graph. Okay, so see, now in this y versus x graph, as you can see, as x coordinate is increasing, here 0, here 1, here 2, here 3, here 4. So firstly try to read the graph, right? See, to understand anything, firstly understand the meaning of it, then and only then go for it. If you are not understanding the meaning and you are just solving the problems, not at all useful. So firstly you have to understand the meaning of it. So see, y and x graph is given over here. Y coordinate, as you can see, is constant, but the x coordinate is varying over here. So over here, if I see y is equal to constant, I can write, and x is equal to variable, I can write. Variable as in it is changing, and constant as in it is constant, right? Constant as in what? 2 meter supposed to be. That particle will be at 2 meter at time t is equal to 0, at time t is equal to 1, at time t is equal to 2. Constant. Okay now. So y is constant, x is variable. So this is the first graph which we have. So as you can see, at x is equal to 0, if I consider y coordinate as 2 supposed to be, and if I ask what is the y coordinate at x is equal to 1, you have to say 2. Why? Because y coordinate is constant. At x is equal to 2, if I ask what is the y coordinate, you have to say 2. At x is equal to 3, if I ask, you have to say 2. Why? Because y coordinate is constant over here. So I hope this first graph is clear to you. One more thing that you need to remember in this is, and that is the slope, right? Slope and the area under the curve. It's because generally for a graph in kinematics, we'll take two terms. One is slope, other one is area. Okay, area under graph. Now see, what is slope? Slope is nothing but the angle made by the horizontal or angle made by the line, right? Line with respect to horizontal, right? Any line. Okay, so if horizontal line is there, with respect to horizontal line will make angle of 0 degree, so slope is 0. If line is vertical like this, the angle made by the line, this line with respect to horizontal is 90 degree. That's why the slope over here is tan 90 degree. Likewise, the slope is nothing but the angle made by tangent of angle made by the line with respect to horizontal. Tangent of angle made by line with respect to horizontal. That is the slope we have. So as you can see over here, this line is horizontal. So with respect to horizontal, this line is making 0 degree angle. So tan of 0. So slope of this line, if you wanted to write, and that is equal to tan of 0 degree, which is equal to 0 slope we have. That means what is the change in y if I change the x? What is the change in y if I change the x? So as you can see, if I change the x, change in y is 0, and that is the reason we can say slope is 0. So the slope has different meanings. You might have heard about this y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. This is also a slope, or else dy divided by dx. This is also a slope. So what is the change in y with respect to change in x? As you can see over here, there is no change in y because y is constant. Now as we change the x, so over here y y is not variable, that means 2 minus 2 divided by 2 minus 1 will become 0, isn't it? So that is the slope we have. And area is nothing but what? Area, you can consider this one, right? Area under the graph, right? Area under the graph. So this is the area we have. So this is the area we have. So area we can have as the length and breadth. So you can consider this as length and this as breadth. So length we have is 2 minus 1 is 1 and breadth we have is 2 minus 0 is 2. So 2 into 1 is the area. It's very simple, right? So I hope this is clear. Now the second graph, as you can see over here. Now if I consider initially the particle is at 0 and the y coordinate also is at 0, we can say, right? So y and x coordinate will be 0, 0. And as I move further on this line, as you can see, along the x-axis if it is 1, then along the y-axis if you consider it as 2, along the x-axis if you consider this as 2, along the y-axis you can consider this as 4, along the x-axis if you consider this is 3, along the y-axis you can consider this as 6. Likewise, this points indicates what is called as the x changing, accordingly y changes, right? As x changes, accordingly y changes. That means here y is variable as well as x is variable. Means both the axis, right? Both the axis quantities are variable over here. Okay. Now how this is varying, right? In what manner we can say, right? Whether it is uniform, whether it is non-uniform or what, that is what we have to see over here. Okay, we'll check. So at 1, x is equal to 1, y we have 2, x is equal to 2, y we have 4, x is equal to 3, y we have 6. So with respect to origin, if you see 1 minus 0 divided by 2 minus 0 divided by 1 minus 0, if you consider over here, this is theta supposed to be, and if I just draw the horizontal line, this is theta, horizontal line, this is theta, horizontal line, this is theta. Oh, so see here, over here, this theta is constant throughout. Indicates what? So what is slope? Slope is the angle made by this line with respect to horizontal. At each and every point, tangent of angle, that angle is constant, right? Same we can say. So the slope is same, slope is constant we can say. So over here, slope is constant. Slope is constant. And if you consider the area, if you want the area, how to calculate the area, you can take this as a triangle and a rectangle. Right, triangle area we have is 1 by 2 into base into height, and the rectangle area we have is length into breadth. So I hope this is very simple, right? So likewise you can read the graph, right? This is the second one. Now likewise over here also, as y is decreasing, what will happen to the x? X is increasing. Over here, as you can see, as y is increasing, x is also increasing, right? So both y and x are increasing, we can say. But now in this example, in the third example, as y is decreasing, x is what? Increasing. Though both are variable, one is decreasing, other one is increasing. And yes, one more thing, the slope of this line with respect to horizontal is what? Tangent, right? Tangent of theta. And that tangent of theta you can see over here, is greater than 90, as theta is obtuse. Now what is acute and what is obtuse? I hope most of you knows this. If you don't know, just listen for 2-3 minutes. See, obtuse means the angle which is greater than 90 degree, right? So over here, that angle is greater than 90 degree, and over here, if you consider tan of 120 degree, tan of 135 degree, tan of 150 degree, likewise. Okay, now the angle, right, theta, we have greater than 90 degree. That means it is 120, 135, 150. Tan of 120 degree. Now 120 degree, how to calculate the value? Tan of, we can write it as tan of 180 minus 60. Right, so I'll just write over here this expression over here, tan of 180 minus 60 degree. Now 180 as in which line? 180 as in the horizontal line, so tan only, and 180 minus 60 is second quadrant, so minus tan 60 indicates it is minus of sin 60 as in root 3. Likewise, you can calculate tan 135 minus 1. 150 we have minus 1 by root 3. So all the values will get the negative, right? That means that the slope, if you consider the obtuse angle, it is negative, right? It is negative. So I hope this is clear, right? So slope over here is negative we have. Now these four graphs are very important. 4 graphs are really very important, right? So see here, now y and x. So as x is increasing, as you can see over here, as x is increasing in a very small duration, y is increasing rapidly. So as you can see over here, this is the x, but y is increasing rapidly, right? So y also increasing, x also increasing, but the rate of increase of y is greater than the rate of increase of x. Over here, rate at which y is increasing is greater than the rate at which x is increasing. So that is what you have to understand. The slope also, here also is the same thing. If you wanted to take slope at this point, drop a tangent, at this point drop a tangent, and as you can see, this is theta 1, this is theta 2. As theta 2 increases, slope increases. So tan theta 2 is greater than tan theta 1. At this point, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you drop a slope, right? If you drop a line, tangent, we can say, this is the first one and this is the second one. The angle with respect to what is called as the horizontal, theta 1, theta 2. So it is decreasing, we can say. So y is decreasing, right? A rate is decreasing, we can say, though y is increasing only. Increasing, and x is also increasing, but the rate of x increase is greater than the rate of y increase. Over here also, these both are very important. But see, over here, with respect to horizontal, you have to see at this point and at this point. This is theta 1, this is theta 2. So this is theta 2, this is theta 1. So in negative side, it is decreasing, we can say. In negative side, it is decreasing, we can say. Negative, decrease. And here also, now see, with respect to horizontal, if you just take, now we considered here clockwise, that's why I considered negative tan theta, right? Negative. So over here also the same thing. This is theta 1, this is theta 2. Now negative side it is increasing, so you can write it as negative increase, increasing slope, negative increasing slope. Okay, this is negative decreasing slope. So all these graphs, firstly how to read, that you need to understand. Okay, so these are the 7 types of graph that you need to understand, right? So once you understand this, now we'll go to the displacement time. then the what is called as the velocity time, acceleration time for uniform motion, for object at rest, and for uniformly accelerated motion, for uniformly retarded motion, right? Chalo. Now for object at rest, for object at rest, for object at rest, I'll draw three graphs. Number one, displacement time or position time, we can say. Number two, the velocity time, and number three, acceleration time. So it is the displacement time, we can say, this is the velocity time, we can say, this is the acceleration time, we can say, displacement time or position time, whatever it is. Okay, so now see, if object at rest and the initial position of the object is 3 meter, or else initial position or displacement of object is 3 meter from the origin. Okay, so object at rest, right? You are sitting at your home, right? What is your position after 1 second? You are sitting at your home and you are at rest, supposed to be. What is the position of you at 1 second? It will be 3 meter only. At 2 seconds, it will be 3 meter only, right? So the position will not change with respect to time. At t is equal to 0 seconds, position will be 3 meter. At t is equal to 1 second, if I ask, it will be 3 meter. At t is equal to 2 seconds, if I ask, it will be 3 meter. That means the position of that object will never change with respect to time. That means the position of the object will never change with respect to time. So it will be at 3 meter forever, we can say, if it is at rest. Okay, if object at rest, then its displacement is constant. That means that position is constant. That position is not changing with respect to time. What is the slope of that line? Slope of that line, if you want, that slope will be 0. Why? What is the change in displacement or position with respect to time? Change in position is 0. Indicates velocity of this ST graph is 0. So velocity 0 indicates the line will be along the time axis. As velocity is 0, acceleration must be then 0. As velocity is 0, then acceleration must be then 0. Enough. In this case, acceleration must be then 0. It is not a retarded case. It is object at rest we are taking, so that's why it is acceleration will be 0. See why I told like this. In this case, the acceleration will be 0 because some of you might think that if I throw the ball upward at the topmost point, velocity is 0, acceleration is still present, hai na? Yeah, that is there, but that is a special case. I'm talking about this case, isn't it? So acceleration time graph over here will have the line which is along the time axis. So I hope this is clear. So this is for object at rest. Now for uniform motion. Second one, for uniform motion. For uniform motion, or else we can say object is moving with constant velocity. For object moving with uniform velocity. Now see, for object moving with uniform velocity. So for this, same thing, we want displacement time graph. So this is the displacement time graph we have. Then we want velocity time graph. And lastly, we want what is called as the acceleration time graph. So this is the displacement time graph, velocity time graph, acceleration time graph. Okay, now so displacement time graph, velocity time graph, acceleration time graph we have. Now see, what is displacement time graph over here for uniform motion? The object which is moving with uniform velocity, we can say. See, if you consider uniform velocity, that means let us consider the velocity is constant, and that is 2 meter per second. Velocity has both magnitude and direction. If magnitude changes, velocity changes. If direction changes, velocity changes, right? But over here we are considering the uniform velocity indicates constant velocity. So I'll consider over here the velocity will be 2 meter per second. Indicates what? The position of a particle will change by 2 meter in 1 second. Position will change by 2 meter in 1 second. So that indicates what? If initially I consider particle is at origin 0, 0, right? 0 at 0 seconds, 0 meter. In 1 second, what is the change in position? In 1 second, particle's position will change by 2 meter. Why? Because the velocity of the particle is 2 meter per second. In the next 1 second, if I ask, it will be, that is 2 seconds. At 2 seconds, if I ask, what will be its position then? Its position will be 4 meter, no? Likewise, at 3 seconds, if I ask, what is its position? 6 meter. So if I just draw the line then, right, at these 3 points, then the line will be the straight line, and which is passing through what? It is passing through origin. The line will be a straight line and passing through origin, as you can see over here. So this is the line, and the slope of this line will indicate what? The slope will indicate, this tan theta will indicate the velocity, that is m, which is equal to the s2 minus s1 divided by t2 minus t1, change in position by change in time. So this is the displacement time graph we have. Then what is the velocity time graph? Velocity time graph will be, as velocity is constant, so you can consider 2 meter per second constant throughout the motion. And what about the acceleration? What is the slope of VT graph represents? It is the acceleration, right? So it will be the line which is parallel, or which is not parallel, along the time axis. Why? Because along the time axis acceleration is 0, or y coordinate is always 0 along the x axis, isn't it? So acceleration will be 0 in this. So here velocity is constant, indicates acceleration is 0. Here also acceleration is 0 meter per second square. So this is for uniform motion. Now for uniform acceleration, third one, for uniform acceleration, see, for uniform acceleration, if you consider the displacement time graph, then velocity time graph, and lastly acceleration time graph. So this is the displacement time graph, this is the velocity time graph, this is the acceleration time graph. Uniform acceleration it is. Now for uniform acceleration, what is the ST graph? See, if you just take the initial velocity as 0, right? Initial velocity as 0, then s is equal to, by kinematical equation for uniform acceleration, s is equal to half a t squared, indicates s is directly proportional to t squared. Indicates what? For small change in t, this is small change in t gives rise to large change in displacement. Now large change in displacement. Now some of you will say how. For that I'll draw one table, right? So I'll draw one table over here. So as you can see over here, I'll write this side it is x, this side it is time. So when time is equal to 1, what is the displacement s supposed to be, or x? It is 1. If time is equal to 2 seconds, it will be 4. If time is equal to 3, it will be 9. If time is equal to 4, it is 16. If time is 5, we have 25. Means small change 4 to 5 will give rise to large change in this 9 points, right? Here 7, here 5. Likewise, small change in t produces the large change in x, indicates the graph is parabolic. The graph is parabolic and it is increasing, somewhat like this. And as you can see, the slope, if you take at this point slope, it will be somewhat like this. And if you take slope at this point, I'll just change the color. The slope at this point will be somewhat like this. And as you can see, the slope is increasing, isn't it? At this point theta 1 if you consider, and at this point theta 2 if you consider, we can have tan theta 2 is greater than tan theta 1. Tan theta 2 is greater than tan theta 1, so we can say that it is a accelerating motion. So whenever we have the slope is increasing for displacement and time graph, whenever we have slope is increasing for displacement and time graph, we can conclude that it is a uniformly accelerated motion. Okay. Now for velocity time graph, we want for uniform acceleration. So what does this uniform acceleration means? It is constant. So if I consider 2 meters per second squared, what does this mean? The velocity will change by 2 meters per second in 1 second. Velocity will change by 2 meters per second in 1 second. So if I ask what is the velocity of the particle if it starts from rest, what is the velocity of a particle in 1 second? It is 2 meters per second. What is its velocity in 2 seconds? It will be 4 meters per second. In 3 seconds, it will be 6 meters per second, right? So over here, it is uniform. So at initially 0 meters per second at 0 seconds. In 1 second, if I ask for uniform acceleration, you have to say 2 meters per second. Why? Because it is uniform. In 2 seconds, if I ask, it will be 4 meters per second. In 3 seconds, if I ask, it will be 6 meters per second. And if you just draw the line, you will get a straight line, and which is passing through origin. So I hope this is clear. And the slope of this VT graph gives velocity time graph gives acceleration. Slope of velocity time graph gives what? Acceleration. And the acceleration is uniform, that is constant over here. So we can have the graph will be at 2 meters per second squared, and it is constant. So I hope this is clear. So this is all about the uniform acceleration, and the last one we have in this, and that is uniform retardation. The last one, uniform retardation. Based on this graphs, I'll take one DPP, daily practice problems. Do watch that also. Okay, so this is the uniform retardation we have. For uniform retardation, we want the three graphs. One is the position time, second one is velocity time, and third one is the acceleration time. So this is the displacement time, velocity time, acceleration time. So the displacement time, so initially if you consider the velocity of the particle is 10 meter per seconds, and deceleration we have or acceleration we have in the opposite direction as that of the 10 meter per second or velocity, and that is 1 meter per second squared. What does this mean now? The velocity of the body will decrease. Velocity of the body will decrease by 1 meter per second in 1 second. That is what the retardation indicates, isn't it? So velocity of the body decreases in 1 second by 1 meter per second. So at 1 second, if I ask what is its velocity, you have to say 9 meter per second. At 2 seconds, if I ask what is its velocity, you have to say 8 meter per second. At 3 seconds, if I ask what is its velocity, you have to say 7 meter per second. So that means the velocity is decreasing. Now velocity is decreasing indicates what? The displacement. Now initially it will be 10 meter in 1 second. Displacement is 10 meter in 1 second, then 9 meter in 1 second, then 8 meter in 1 second. Displacement also, position also is decreasing, isn't it? So over here, initially the position or the displacement is 10 meter, indicates greater, then lesser and lesser. So the graph is somewhat like this we have. Right now. So this graph also parabola only. And we have VT graph now. VT graph is decreasing in a constant rate, right? 10 meter per second, then 9 meter per second, then 8 meter per second. So we have initially it is 10 meter per second. After one second, if I ask, it will be 9 meter per second. Then after 1 second, if I ask, it will be 8 meter per second, and likewise. So the graph is somewhat like this, isn't it? And at 10 seconds, it will be 0. This is 9 meter per second. Then we have 8 meter per second, and likewise, isn't it? In 1 second, 2 seconds, and in 10 seconds, it will be 0. So I hope this is clear. And lastly, the acceleration time graph. Acceleration, we will consider what is called as the negative side, because it is a retardation we have. So minus 1 meter per second square. So this is all about the uniform retardation we have, right? Now, if you do this much of theory regarding the graphs, then I'll assure you that most of the problems you can solve. And 3 to 4 statements that you need to remember in this. I'll take the daily practice problems for this also, don't worry. How to tackle the problems also I'll take. So write down. First one, slope of velocity time graph gives acceleration. Second, slope of position time graph gives velocity. Third one, area under velocity time graph gives change in position. Or else we can say displacement. And lastly, area under acceleration time graph gives change in velocity. I'll just summarize this in one bracket. So see here, if you have displacement, if you have velocity, if you have acceleration, if you just differentiate this, indicates slope, right? If you differentiate this displacement with respect to time, you will get velocity. If you differentiate velocity with respect to time, we'll get acceleration. If you integrate the acceleration with time, you will get the change in velocity. And if you integrate the velocity with respect to velocity with time, then we'll get the displacement. Integration indicates area under VT graph. Integration indicates area under AT graph. Differentiation indicates slope of VT graph. Differentiation indicates slope of ST graph. So I hope this is clear. Now if anyone has any doubt, they can always comment in the comment box. I'll try to reply to that comment as soon as possible. Thank you so much.